Hello, welcome to the Tabs and Icons Consulting Microsoft Excel training. In this video, we're going to look at how to work with dirty data, cleaning them, formatting them for report presentation. Now, let's look at this data. I actually created this data from a problem a friend showed to me a couple of days back. I've tried to change the data as much as I can, at least to present the same view without revealing the identity of the client. Let's look at our January data. Now, he gets this information every month from their database, sales figures, the name of the manager, and the location. Now, let's look at this data. You could see that these data are actually in one cell. So I have Lagos here, Kano, Benin, Jos, all in one cell. Now, the corresponding names are also here. So I can pick Ekene, for example, that he is in Lagos branch or location Lagos. I can take the next name, Oroje is in Kano, and these are their corresponding sales. So this guy takes almost like 2-3 hours preparing this report, because what is he supposed to do? Prepare this report in such a way that he'll be able to isolate the top 5 performance every month. Now, this is his final report. Before that, let's go to February. He finishes that. February report is sent. Now, this is February report, the same names, but in different order, location, and sales. So this is the final report that he brings out. He has arranged these names in column, location, and by sales, and he has prepared the top 5 staff and also done a chart. Now, this report takes him hours to do because he has to get these names and manually key them in one after the other. And now let me look at the 2 approaches that I actually taught him on how we can generate this report. First, I'm going to use Microsoft Excel, and in the second part, I'm going to use Power Query for data cleaning. So let's start. So I picked this report. This is the January report. First, I want to send this thing into different columns. So I highlight this. Now, highlighting this, I've actually highlighted the whole of the report here because these things are actually in cell B. So I click on this, I go to data. From data, I'm going to the data tools group, and I say text to column. Now, I notice that all these things are separated by comma. So when I take next, I'm going to come here and say split using the delimiter comma. And I do this, you can see that all of them have been separated into different columns. So when I click finish, I have this report this way. So I can actually do this. Okay, fine. So I have this. This is for Ekene and Lagos. This is this. So I already have this split out. So what I'm going to do next is to transpose this report such that but first I can actually take out the columns here, the empty rows. I don't need this. I don't need this. I can take out these empty rows. Okay, fine. So my report is together now, getting better. Now the next thing I'm going to do, let's look at how the report is here. I'm going to transpose this report. So I can come here and say equal to transpose. Now, when I say transpose, I'm going to highlight the whole of this one. I've highlighted the whole report. I just hit my enter key, and that's it. So I have transposed the report. But I saw that the report format is that name comes first, followed by location, and sales is last. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to value copy this one, so that I remove that split formula, and I'm going to move this one to this side. So I have that. So I have name, location, and sales. So what I'm going to have here is serial number in line with the report format. So I number 1, 2, and I can spill this down, can filter this down. So this is what I need to do, and my report is gradually taking shape. Okay, this is name, location, and sales. So let me put a comma separator. I don't need the decimal portion, so I'm going to take it out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the report itself, which now I have actually created this report in the format that the client require. So the next thing I'm going to say is top 5 staff, because I see that is the top 5 staff. So the next thing, I'm going to take serial number. I can actually copy this serial number and sales. This is the 3 columns that are required. I copy this one. I can place it here. Okay, fine. So I have serial number, name, and sales. Let me widen this column. So when I widen this column, I'm going to have names there. Serial number, I can have 1, 2, down to 5, because I'm looking for top 5 here. So I have this. Now, to get the top sales, I can use the function large. So I'm going to say equal to large. I open up this function and I highlight my array. I'm going to hold that fixed because I intend to copy down. Take my comma and I'm saying the largest, which is this. I copied this down and I can place my comma separator. Let me take out the decimal portion. So these are my top 5 performers. So I need to get the names. I can't use VLOOKUP because the value I'm going to look for is certainly not going to be on the top, on the first column to the left, which is a VLOOKUP requirement. So that means VLOOKUP will not be able to help me. I can use index and match. So if you are using an older version of Excel, you can use index and match. But I'm using Microsoft 365 where I have XLOOKUP. So XLOOKUP will come handy. I'm going to say XLOOKUP, look up what? This value. Where is it looking it up? I'm looking at this column. And then what is my return array? My return array is certainly the names. So I hit my enter key and that is the first top. So I've gotten this. I'm still looking at my report. The next thing is a column chart. So I highlight this one and I say Alt F1 to prepare my column chart. So this is my column chart. The next thing I'll just do a little bit of dressing to this. I want to widen the column. I increase the gap width. Is that correct? My gap width is not increased. Let me take that again. I think that's okay. I don't know what I've got to. Okay, fine. This is my gap width increase. So I'm going to put the data label on top. I have this. This is fine. I come here, just decorate it a little bit. Go to my home. I take bold and then probably do this. Okay, fine. So now I don't need this bottom anymore. I take out my grid line. Grid lines usually not being chart, doesn't make it beautiful. I do this and now I have done my report. So this is what you naturally should do. So you can see from this report I have generated this is what you can take out this one and you no longer need this because this is the report. Now you can see how fast I have taken to get this. That takes my friend hours to achieve. Now when it gets February, you just have to repeat that same process. That is how to go about it in Microsoft Excel. Now let's look at what Power Query will do. So I'm going to Power Query. I want to delete this. Should I delete this? Yeah, let me delete this. And then also delete the whole of this one. I hope so. Yeah, let me delete the whole of this one. Now, I want to place it back to what it was. I have it on row 2. The next one is on row 5. So have this. Let me see. The next one is on row 5. So, okay. And then the next one is on row, what is that now? Row 7. Okay, fine. So this is the original report. But does this match? No, this is not. Okay. I want to place those column. I think I better just copy from another file and work with that second file. So let me close this one and call up another file with similar information. Okay, fine. Let me call up this file. Okay, cool. So I have this same data. This is supposed to be the January. So let me name this January. Let me name this January. And this second data, I'm going to call it February. So this is the January report. This is the February report. I don't need all this other one. Let me delete them. We know already what we are expected to achieve. So let me delete these ones. Okay. So I have this January and I have this February. This is what I'm supposed to achieve. So let me take out this one and get back to what the data should be. Whoosh, what did I do there? I guess okay, let me delete this and see what. Okay, fine, this is my February report. Let me take this one out too, so I can get my January February report in order. Okay, what did I do there? Okay, this is correct. So I'm going to take out this one. Okay, fine. So this is my report. I hope I'm trying to be consistent in it. Okay, fine. This is January. Let me look at February. This is February. So I have these two reports now. Now let me use Power Query this time rather than Excel. So I have this report. I'm going to achieve the same thing we achieve now using Excel. So the first thing, I'm going to move this information to Power Query. We know that Power Query will rather work better with a table, but I'm not going to delete anything here. Let's Power Query do all that for us. So I click on this January report and I click from table and range. It moves me straight to the Power Query editor. This is telling me this range. So I'm going to just highlight this too, because this is where it is. My data, my table has header. I'm not going to select that because there is no header here. So I just click OK, and then it takes me straight to the Power Query editor environment. Now, this is the report in Power Query editor. That's fine. So I have loaded this file into Power Query. You can see I have some empty spaces. First, I need to take out those empty spaces. So I'm going to go to my home, and then I come to remove rows. When I click remove rows, what am I removing? I'm taking out the blank rows. So I click on this, blank rows off. So I have this report. The next thing, I need to split this. So I'm going to click on this column and then go to my home, come under split column. When I click on this, I'm going to split by delimiter. If you notice this, there is a delimiter, which is a comma. We already know that a delimiter is a common separator between words in a cell. So I'm going to click delimiter, and the system will come up giving me different delimiters. Now I want to use comma. It has rightly recognized comma as a delimiter, and I'm going to split at each occurrence. So I click on OK. Now this is the report. Now I've placed it and I've separated it. Now the top, if you notice now, I have all these ones, but this is not the format I want. I need to transpose this report. So I'm going to come to transform, and you will see here transpose. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say transpose. When I take transpose, this is the report. You can see how easy it is with Power Query. But that report also, I need to have this column as my top column. You can see that it's having column 1, column 2. That shouldn't be. The header should be sales name this. So I'm coming to transform, or rather let me go back to home, and you will see under the transform group, say use first row as header. So I'm selecting that, use first row as header. So I'll just promote it, and you can see my apply step saying I have promoted that header. Now what else do I need? The name should come first, so I move name to this place, followed by location. I move location here. So this is my report. I can now load this straight into Excel. So I load this straight into Excel, and it falls straight into my Excel. This is my report. You can see how easy it is in Power Query. Let me put a comma separator and then take out that step. So the next thing, I'm just going to do my top 5 staff. Okay, top 5 staff. Now the same thing, I'm going to just say serial number. So I'm actually doing something. I did name and then sales. Okay, so I'm following the same approach, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this time I need to get the sales using the same approach I did. I'm going to say equal to large, and I come here, highlight the whole of this. Now this is a table. I don't need to put the log, is just optional there, and I'm asking for K. I select this. Oh, have I made a mistake there? Let me take that again. Equal to large, of this range, and I take a comma. Yes, it's telling me K, and I take this one. I hit my enter. Fine, that is the. I'm going to put a comma separator, take out this. And the next thing is getting the actual people. So I'm going to use the X lookup like we just did now. X lookup what? This value. Where is it looking it up? Within this range. And then I take my comma. It's asking what is it returning? The return array. I want it to return the name. So I highlight the names here and I hit my enter key. So that is the name. You can see I've gotten the same report. So what I do is just simply to draw my chart like I did before. Alt F1 will produce a column chart. Now this is the same thing we did. I'm just going to format it to increase the column width, and then I also add the table labels. So I can take out this one and don't need this one anymore. When you're doing chart, actually try to create as much space you can, or manage space rather. So I'm taking this, make it a bit bigger. This is it. I'm taking out the legend. Like I always said, don't include legend in your chart. Fine. So this is my report. Now let's look at the beauty of Power Query above Excel in this. Now that I have done this, this is my general report. We can see that Omobowale is the best and the 5th person is Voke. So now I have my February report now. Now look at the beauty of this. This is February report. What I'll do is come here. Now, please let's try to look at something that we notice we have here Omobowale first, and on display we have Ekene followed by Oroje. But in February report, the order is different. I have Ayola followed by Oroje, Owere. Look at their figures. But when I'm doing February report, what I will do is simply to come to February. Now that I've gotten the report of February, come here, copy this one, move to January, and just paste it here. So I have replaced it. This is actually now February report. So what do? I come straight to my report. Rather than pass through the whole process again, Power Query have recognized that addition. So I come here, it's either I right click and click on refresh, or I go to Power Query, and let's see what happens when I refresh. Because this is February figure that I have already done in my table. If I click on refresh, look at what happened. This is my February report. Very simple. February report, I have Agbola, I have Chike, and this is the chart representing February report. Extremely very powerful approach to doing that same job that my friend have been spending hours upon hours to achieve. Thank you very much for listening. In other of our videos, you'll see much more of what Excel can do. Bye-bye, and God bless you.